It's happening again. Today, we have a very special guest. So we're going to be chatting with beautiful Haley, as always. And then Eric is joining us from the Amnis team. Hello, Eric. Welcome.
Hello. Hi, Alex. Hi, Haley. It's great to be here.
I
We're
think
very
it's very
excited to have you.
special. Yeah, you're the very first external guest actually coming into the YAPT episode number 4, right?
Yeah, feels like we've done a lot more, but yes, you are our first official guest from the ecosystem. So big honor for you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very excited to be here as well.
Great, great. So let's take it away. Amnis Finance, for those who don't know, is the biggest liquid staking solution in the Aptos ecosystem by TVL. Eric, can you give us a quick overview of the mission and how Amnis differentiate itself from other liquid staking solutions, and also who are you and what is your role there?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Eric. I'm a CEO and co-founder of Amnis Finance. And as Alex said, we are the largest liquid staking on Aptos by TVL, and I think also by a number of unique active wallet as well. We have about almost 500,000 unique staker. What we do, our mission is to facilitate easy APT staking. It's basically worry-free for you. You can stake APT as small as, zero point 0.2 APT starting with us, and it provides you with constant access to liquidity. You don't have to wait for the for withdrawal access. And we also have additional campaign that you can generate, much higher IPR compared to what you do with node delegation.
Can you remind us, when did you guys go live on Aptos mainnet?
It's been a quiet journey. We went live on Aptos mainnet on October 23. So it's been 1.5 years. It's been
Wow.
very eventful. We start out at a quite small team and won the second place in an Aptos hackathon in 2040 token 2049 in 23. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So you said it's been eventful. And one of the reasons we're having you on today is because there's a big event coming up for Amnis, right? So we have launched the LFM program publicly a few days ago by now, and Amnis is part of the LFM cohort alongside Aries, Pact, and Echo protocol. It's a new program that the foundation has launched to support market-tested projects preparing, gearing up for a TGE. And I would love to hear your take on how was that experience for you, and how has this helped basically shape your road into going into TGE very soon?
Yes, I think the first thing I can say is a super awesome program, right? I'm not a first-time founder, so I have a TGE before on another Web3 project I lead. And I have to say that the first time it's super hectic. There's a lot of things you don't know, from legal to tokenomics to listing and all that marketing strategies. But I mean, having working with Aptos team, right, on the LFM is been awesome. They have a very diverse and deep expertise. So basically, we get support from every single thing that we can think of, right? From security, technical, legal, design tokenomics, go-to-market strategy, working with KOL and marketing. We get so much support and amplification from the ecosystem itself. I have to say this is probably the most support I get from L1. Working with any partner is a very Tyler experience, and you got diverse range of people from Aptos with very deep expertise and knowledge that you can tap into. And basically, for the last 2 weeks, Aptos has been there with me every single day to helping us and making sure I succeed on this journey. So I think it's totally awesome. There wouldn't be any other, I think, L1 that provides this level of support and put on the ground like Aptos.
That's great to hear. I'm glad it was helpful. For people who don't really know, you can go into the Aptos Foundation website and look a little bit deeper into the LFM program. But essentially, as Eric mentioned, it's a very hands-on support for teams who are at the stage where they are ready to go into TGE. It's a pretty high barrier to entry. We really want to make sure that you have product market fit before that you have users, that everything is in place for you to actually succeed in launching a token.
I didn't realize that this was your second TG, Eric, that you're undergoing. So maybe that merits a separate conversation that we need to have for you to talk more about your experiences going through not one, but two. But I want to kind of take a step back a little bit and talk about how you got to where you are today going into TG with Amnis. I know Amnis has seen explosive growth since it launched, but year over year, I think you've seen something like more than 1,800% growth. making it one of the fastest growing protocols on Aptos. And as Alix mentioned, you're the largest liquid staking protocol on Aptos by TVL. What do you think has driven this momentum?
We started in October 23, right? And I still remember since, and you can check, early 24, so by slightly over a year ago, we still at a single digit TVL in terms of dollars, right? Now we had $200 million plus TVL, 34 million APT. So, it's been a massive growth for us. The journey, I think we are like the start as, a very humble team. We won the second place at Aptos Hackathon, the DeFi track in 2023. And from there, we get very big support from foundations at the time. I think the journey for us, at the very start when we design our product, what we have in mind is the value proposition we bring to the user, right? What can we offer to them? What bring value and benefit to our user? That has been our center focus. So we've always been very community driven, and I think that's echo, right? And the community feel it. People don't know me or maybe the team personally, but I think a lot of people around the crypto space or Aptos space know about Amnis, right? So a very good feeling is when I walk around with Amnis shirts in conference, they're like, oh, you're from Amnis. I use your product. It's simple and amazing, right? Sometimes I think the key I learned is simplicity is a beauty in its own, right? It's very easy to use. And I think that's one of the things that attract a lot of people to us, right? There's only a few buttons and everyone can figure out how to use it like pretty right away. And the value proposition on the table is very clear. We offer high APR. We offer very easy to use product. We offer massive access to liquidity, very well adopted. So that has translated into our success. And, always keep in mind that, user first. So a lot of our campaign, when initially we thought, it's just a small feature, turned out to be very big, like our lottery and raffle campaign, right? It is something that it was just a design as secondary feature, but it was so well received. It was so well received because, people feeling exciting, feeling, hey, I stake APT, I get a ticket, I can spin the wheel to earn something extra, right? And that's bring a lot of users to come back to us very regularly and interact with us very actively. And so that has been the whole journey. And I think throughout that journey, Aptos been there, been very supportive. Without that, I think we wouldn't be here. And I believe when we start, Aptos was only like $20-30 million TVL, right? And now, Aptos is over $1 billion and we're over 200 mil. So that has been a great journey. Is a growth of us and Aptos together throughout that whole journey.
Awesome. See, I'm telling you, we need to have a second conversation so we could hear your founder story about going through the hackathon and really kind of like growing your business on Aptos from day one. I'm telling you, I feel like the people would love to hear it. But you mentioned, Amnis has now become a household name within the Aptos ecosystem, and you're seeing adoption really take off. I would say that a part of that is because of the strong partnerships that you've made within the ecosystem with everybody from Aries Markets to Solana to PancakeSwap. How do you feel like that's strengthened either your position or recognition within the Aptos DeFi ecosystem, or even just strengthened the Amnis community?
I think partnership is so important in Web3, right? And then, in this, we have seen so many models that people try to go it alone, basically corner the market. It typically doesn't work well because like, the way people think is this, like when we launch, right, we have a couple of competitors that launch quite similar time at us. And the difference between us and them is that like we basically partner with everyone, right? Early days, Liquid Swap, Aries early day was quite small. I think the TVL was roughly the same size as us. Right now, they're 300-400 mil. We had 200 mil. Throughout this whole journey, definitely that partnership synergize a lot, right? We bring them TVL, they bring us TVL and user, because with liquid staking, the way people think about is like, hey, I want to use a liquid staking token that has the most utility and adoption, right? I want to see that I'm able to use your token in every single other DeFi platform. And that's applied for us, right? If you go to any probably top 20 DeFi protocol on Aptos, you can see us integrated there. Even some team that could be considered our competitor integrated us, right? So I think cooperation is very important in this space because people think Web3 it's about the spirit of open source of collaboration. So I think that definitely go a long way. So I think for newcomer as well to the ecosystem, definitely value cooperation and partnerships. It might be something really small at the start, but it grow into some much bigger partnership. It's the same with our relationship with Aptos and our relation with Aries and other partners as well.
I couldn't agree more with what you're saying. And I think that's why it's also called an ecosystem, right? Because you need to have a strong collaboration in between protocols, whether it's within DeFi and also other verticals. And I think something that I really love is to hear stories that go back, from some of the first hackathons that we did with Aptos, right? I think that's just beautiful to see, how much of a journey it's been really. And now you're here today, gearing up for TGE. We're going to be talking a little bit more about that. Can you tell everyone when can we expect the TGE to happen?
So the TGE expected to happen on the 26th of March. So that is Wednesday.
That is Wednesday. Great. What can user expect from, the 26th, the TGE happening?
Well, I guess I cannot disclose name, but we expect that we have big centralized exchange, top centralized exchange confirmed with us. So I think this will be a very big event for Aptos. We try to because we're a top project in terms of TVL, we want this TGE, right, go to market to bring a lot of user, a lot of traction. And I think it's opened a new page for Amnis, right? We have been building for the last 18 months. There has been users who have been sticking around with us for that, almost the same period of time. So this is a time, right, that we reward our community and, take to the next page. This is not like the end of it, but I think it's the beginning of the new journey as a publicly listed token, right? And with that, it provides with a lot more tool to grow the protocol and offer even more services and value back to our community and users.
Absolutely. I think it's just like one of the big milestones that a protocol can hit once you're really ready, right? It's not the end of anything. It's for the beginning of something even bigger. How can users get involved and benefit from these different programs that you guys have in place?
So the retroactive airdrop campaign that is still ongoing, right? We have about 3-4 more days. There's a countdown on our website already. So it's for your final chance, right? Look, you still have a chance. Please go take a look, right? Because we want to make sure it's worth your time and effort. That's one. Second, we have a Gauzy campaign on a kind of like, it's also give airdrop, but in more on social engagement, right? So if you, let's say you're like, hey, I don't have that much APT to stake right now, but I still want to get involved. That's a great way, right? You can tweet about us, you can talk about us, you can write about us. There's a chance you can win, a decent amount of airdrop, right? So it's that way, for people who are very active on X, that's the way for you to support and get involved. And thirdly, hey, for long-time staker and APT staker, we have a special APR campaign that you can earn up to additional 12% of APR, right? So by combine that with existing APR of 8%, you get almost 20% APR annually on staking APT, right? And if you do, some people do some looping to lending as well, it can get you as high as 80-90% APR per year, which is super awesome. In the market that's sideways a bit, this perfect time for you to accumulate more APT.
Multiple ways to benefit. Just want to point out, when we say there's 3 or 4 days left, it's from the day we're all recording. So by the time the episode comes out, it might be 1 day, it might be 0. I just don't want people to get upset, if that's the case. So just putting this out there. But yeah, there's so many ways that people can participate and benefit actually from all the campaigns that you guys have, the different programs, and basically helping you getting into a successful TGE, because at the end of the day, TGE is for the community, right? Something that helps decentralize the protocols even more. What is it that makes Amnis' TGE something that's very pivotal for both the community, as I just mentioned, and the broader Aptos DeFi ecosystem?
I think one, for the community, I think a lot has been waited very patiently for our TGE, right? People has been in retroactive campaign for almost 16-18 months. That's quite a while,
wow.
Right? And everyone was like, wow, I'm just waiting for the TGE. Yeah, I get pinged that every time I post something on X, right? So TGE, as a per tradition of Web3, is always a big event, when airdrops and your long-awaited project finally hit the market, and for us, it's accumulation of building. Now with the token out, there's a lot more things you can experiment and do with the community. I think that's one side for the community. For the wider DeFi Aptos ecosystem, I think it's been a while since a major DeFi protocol on Aptos TGE right? The last major one was long time ago.
Merkle TGE wasn't that far ago. It was in September of last year, right?
Yeah, Merkle is about 6 months, 9 months.
Yeah.
The other one, I think Tala was long time ago, right? More than 18 months ago. So people is like still waiting for the next shiny thing on the DeFi ecosystem
Always.
to come out. So
Always.
I think it's very important. It's gonna, I think, set the tone for the whole ecosystem, and I hope we set the tone well, right? For there's more to come. There's apart away from us, there's 3 more LFM. So I think for the community, the trader, hey, take a look, do pay attention, see how it goes, because there's more to come, right? And the 3 other LFM project in the LFM is also very strong.
Yeah, so you're the first out of the program to go into TGE, out of Aries, Echo, and Pact. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
A lot of pressure, but we try our best.
No pressure.
You have to set the tone right. You have to set the tone right for sure. But something that I really like is that you guys have been patient with it. I think TGE is a moment that's really important in the life of a protocol. And if you try to go too early, it's the best way to actually make the community angry and probably mess it up. So you said that people have been in the program for 16, 18 months. I think that's a good thing, personally. And that way you can see who's patient enough to wait until the moment is right for the TGE to actually happen. So exciting.
Yeah, I think TGE is also always a delicate thing to figure out. You go too early, you have no traction, you have no product, you have no community. You go too late, then people just forget about you. So it's always a delicate. I would akin it to like a Big Bang event, right? It happened once. It happened right.
Yeah, it is true. It is true. And I think that's something that we emphasize a lot in the LFM program, actually. It's that in order to receive the support that's going to lead you into TGE, that's stuff that we want to see, which is having a strong community, having a product that is, potentially generating revenue or sustaining itself, at least something that has traction. There's a lot of different criteria in order to enter. But what you just mentioned is totally true. That's in order for you to be at the best possible timing for that to happen.
Truly can't rush perfection. Truly can't rush it. Despite all the hype that might be out there and all the excitement, you got to do it when the timing's right. Switching gears a little bit, the way I want to round out our time with you, Eric, is talking about the future of liquid staking on Aptos. So you talked a little bit about the role that the community can play in shaping Amnis's future, but how do you foresee the staking market evolving and the role that Amnis will play in that transformation?
Yeah, absolutely. Since we start, I always believe liquid staking is a cornerstone of DeFi protocol, right? If you think of, I think Aptos or an L1 as a country, then liquid staking is basically like the Federal Reserve, right? The US T-bill, right? It's the lifeblood of the whole ecosystem. How do you wrap that native token into something that is you producing, but doesn't lock in the token, right? Still let it flow within the economy. If you get it right, it creates a virtuous cycle of credit expansion, right? Let the economy grow, The way I see liquid staking play in Aptos, I think it's going to be crucial. I think every step of the way as a DeFi expand, liquid staking going to play an active role in there. For example, like if you look at lending, we're probably one of the biggest collateral and asset on lending, right? On DEX, we probably the top trading pair as well because people trade liquid staking around a lot, token around a lot. In the future, I do feel that reward asset would be a thing that would be quite interesting, right? Because as you got Web 2 and TradFi entering Web 3. You got ETH ETF, right? And that ETH ETF now, they allow for ETH staking in their realm as well. But how about, an ETF for liquid stake token of the underlying, like ETH, APT, and other, right? Then suddenly because it's a yield, there's massive possibility of crafting a lot of financial instrument on that, right? Like yield enhancement, a lot of derivative and structured product based on that can be offering to wider retail market. So I think the application of it is actually very widespread, and I think there's a lot more exciting that we would want to experiment on Aptos as well.
And that was a perfect segue into my last question. Amnis wants to experiment more. So is there any alpha that you can give us in terms of what's next on your roadmap or how you kind of plan to continue pushing the boundaries of DeFi on Aptos?
The first alpha, of course, don't miss our TGE. Do watch out for it. Retroactive still live. There's Gauzy campaign, go grab your piece of the airdrop or the chance of it. Don't be sidelined. Don't be sidelined, right? Aptos looking good here. Aptos looking good here. Don't be sidelined. I think that's the biggest alpha. Second, in terms of our roadmap, I think this TG is a very important part. It helps us to grow moving toward the decentralized protocol. We want to delegate more responsibility and decision making and say to the community itself, right? Because as we grow bigger and bigger, we still need to maintain a very key feature of the blockchain to make sure it's decentralized, right? To make sure we give the vote and the voice to the community, so it preserves the decentralization beauty of a blockchain inherent in it is. So the DAO governance is the next big thing that we're planning to build. We're actually building, and then the feature will be released quite soon. It gives people a lot more say of how the protocol function, the fees, the nodes, and all of that, right? And definitely let the community to get a lot more involved with us. That is the main focus right now. And beyond that, we will experiment a way to add additional utility and functionality for our liquid stake token so that people get more value out of their APT.
Nice. I think our collective vision,
Amazing.
right, is to 10x the Aptos ecosystem, but it sounds like the Amnis community is about to be 10x. So many exciting things to come.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else, Eric, that you want to leave the people with?
Again, just a shout out for the TG and all the campaign. Some of this campaign, I know Web3 thing, right? Oh, we wait till last minute, like, hey, please extend the campaign. I just need to get this last thing in. So don't be that. Do that early, right? Beforehand, it's just 5 days to go, and there's campaign still open, right? Please get in, get your slot early. There's a lot of exciting things. And hey, don't forget about all our previous campaign, like the NFT collection would be a big part of this campaign as well. So Draconian, don't forget about that. That is still the centerpiece of our ecosystem. That's just a tip. And yeah, and finger crossed. And I really hope that we set the tone for the next a few LFM project to go live.
Again, no pressure.
For sure. We're looking forward to it. No pressure. It would be great. Hopefully, when we launch that episode, it's Monday. So I'm trying to manifest that. Haley, I don't know what you think about it. So there's still a couple of days for people to get involved somehow and to learn about the TGE before it happens on Wednesday. Thank you so much, Eric, for being with us today and for your time. I think it was a great episode, very insightful.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Haley. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Till
We'll
next time.
see you very, very soon.